Welcome back to the Heretek Lorekeeper Channel. Today we embark on a bloody journey into the realm of one of the most brutal and feared entities in the Warhammer universe, Khorne, the Blood God. Prepare yourself, for we are about to explore the lore, mythology, and influence of Khorne, the chaos god of war, bloodshed, and violence. Origins and nature of Khorne. Khorne, also known as the Lord of Skulls, the Blood God, and the Master of Murder, is one of the four major chaos gods in the Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer Fantasy universes. His domain is one of unending war, violence, and rage, and he epitomizes the brutal and destructive aspects of chaos. The Birth of Khorne. Khorne's existence is fueled by the rage, violence, and bloodlust of sentient beings. He was born from the collective hatred, anger, and desire for violence that pervades the minds of living creatures. Khorne thrives on the emotions of war and bloodshed, growing stronger with every act of brutality and slaughter. The essence of war, Khorne's power, is rooted in the essence of war. He represents the raw, primal force of battle and the chaos that accompanies it. Unlike the other chaos gods, who may have more nuanced or intricate domains, Khorne's influence is straightforward and unrelenting. He seeks only one thing: blood. The act of killing is a sacred rite to Khorne, and his followers are driven by an insatiable thirst for combat and slaughter. The Realm of Khorne. Khorne's domain, known as the Brass Citadel, is a hellish landscape of fire, blood, and endless battle. It is a place where war never ceases, and the ground itself is soaked with the blood of the slain. The Brass Citadel. The Brass Citadel is Khorne's fortress within the warp. It is an immense, heavily fortified structure made of brass and iron, surrounded by rivers of blood and fields of bones. The air is filled with the sound of clashing weapons and the roars of demonic warriors locked in eternal combat. Within the citadel, Khorne sits upon a massive throne of skulls, overseeing the carnage and basking in the glory of battle. The Bloodletters. The Bloodletters are Khorne's demonic foot soldiers, embodying the ferocity and bloodlust of their master. They are tall, muscular daemons with crimson skin, horned heads, and vicious claws. Bloodletters are relentless warriors, driven by an unquenchable thirst for blood. They wield hellblades, weapons forged in the fires of Khorne's rage, capable of cutting through armor and flesh with ease. The Bloodthirsters. The Bloodthirsters are the most powerful of Khorne's demons, serving as his generals and enforcers. These massive winged daemons are embodiments of Khorne's fury, towering over their enemies and wielding enormous weapons. Bloodthirsters are nearly invincible on the battlefield, capable of tearing through entire armies with their sheer strength and ferocity. They are the epitome of Khorne's power, inspiring terror and awe in equal measure. Khorne's influence in the mortal realms. Khorne's influence extends far beyond his own realm, reaching into the material universe in numerous ways. His presence is felt on countless worlds, and his followers are legion, driven by a fanatical devotion to the Blood God. The Cult of Khorne. Khorne's mortal followers are drawn from all walks of life, united by their desire for bloodshed and battle. These cultists are known as the Cult of Khorne, and they worship the Blood God through acts of violence and slaughter. They believe that by shedding blood in Khorne's name, they can earn his favor and gain power. The Cult of Khorne is a decentralized and chaotic organization with no single leader or hierarchy. Instead, it is composed of countless warbands and tribes, each vying for dominance and seeking to spill as much blood as possible. The World Eaters. One of the most infamous groups dedicated to Khorne in the Warhammer 40,000 universe is the World Eaters. Originally one of the Emperor's Space Marine legions, the World Eaters fell to Khorne's influence during the Horus Heresy. Under the leadership of their Primarch, Angron, the World Eaters embraced Khorne's creed of bloodshed and became his most fervent warriors. They are known for their berserk rage and relentless ferocity in battle, often implanting themselves with butcher's nails, cybernetic devices that heighten their aggression and pain tolerance. The Warriors of Chaos. In the Warhammer Fantasy universe, Khorne's influence is most prominently seen among the Warriors of Chaos. These fearsome warriors, drawn from the northern tribes of the Chaos Wastes, are dedicated to Khorne's worship. They seek to prove their worth in battle, believing that only through bloodshed can they gain Khorne's favor and achieve immortality as daemon princes. The warriors of chaos are known for their brutal tactics and their bloodthirsty devotion, often painting themselves with the blood of their enemies as a sign of their allegiance to Khorne. Khorne's weapons and gifts. Khorne's power is manifested through the weapons and gifts he bestows upon his followers. These are not only tools of destruction, but also symbols of his favor and the means by which his followers can achieve even greater acts of slaughter. The Axe of Khorne. The Axe of Khorne is one of the most iconic weapons associated with the Blood God. It is a massive, brutal weapon, capable of cleaving through multiple enemies with a single swing. The Axe of Khorne is often wielded by Khorne's most favored champions, and it is said that the weapon itself thirsts for blood, urging its wielder to ever greater acts of carnage. The Mark of Khorne. The Mark of Khorne is a symbol of the Blood God's favor, often bestowed upon his most devoted followers. Those who bear the Mark of Khorne gain increased strength and ferocity, becoming even more deadly in combat. The mark also acts as a ward against sorcery, as Khorne despises magic and those who wield it. To bear the Mark of Khorne is to be blessed with the Blood God's favor, and to be driven by an unrelenting thirst for battle. The Berserker Glands. In the Warhammer 40,000 universe, Khorne's followers often undergo various augmentations to increase their combat effectiveness. One such augmentation is the implantation of Berserker Glands, which release powerful hormones and stimulants into the bloodstream, driving the recipient into a berserk rage. This process is most commonly associated with the World Eaters, who use the Butcher's nails to achieve a similar effect. These augmentations heighten aggression and pain tolerance, allowing the warrior to fight with unparalleled ferocity and endurance. The Philosophy of Khorne. Khorne's philosophy is simple and brutal, centered around the concepts of strength, honor, and bloodshed. Unlike the other Chaos gods, who may employ deception or manipulation, Khorne's creed is one of direct confrontation and unrelenting violence. Strength through combat. Khorne's followers believe that true strength can only be achieved through combat. They seek to prove their worth on the battlefield, believing that only through acts of violence can they gain power and honor. This philosophy drives Khorne's followers to constantly seek out battle, viewing any act of violence as a sacred right. Honor and bloodshed. Despite his brutal nature, Khorne places a high value on honor and martial prowess. He despises cowards and those who use deceit or magic to achieve their goals. Khorne's followers are expected to face their enemies head-on, using their strength and skill to achieve victory. This emphasis on honor extends to their treatment of the fallen, with Khorne's followers often taking trophies from their slain enemies as a sign of respect and a testament to their prowess. The Eternal War. Khorne's ultimate goal is eternal war, a state of unending conflict where blood flows freely and the sounds of battle never cease. He seeks to spread chaos and violence across the universe, believing that, only through constant conflict can true strength and honor be achieved. This philosophy drives Khorne's followers to wage war on all fronts, seeking to spread their master's influence and bring about the eternal war. Khorne and Warhammer lore. Khorne's influence is deeply embedded in the lore of both Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer Fantasy. His machinations have shaped countless events and stories across these universes. The Horus Heresy. One of the most significant events in Warhammer 40,000 lore is the Horus Heresy, during which Khorne's influence played a crucial role. The World Eaters, under the leadership of Angron, became one of the most fearsome forces in the traitor legions. Their descent into madness and bloodlust exemplified Khorne's creed, and their actions during the heresy left a lasting impact on the galaxy. The World Eaters' betrayal and subsequent embrace of Khorne's teachings marked a turning point in the heresy, contributing to the fall of the Imperium and the rise of chaos. The Storm of Chaos. In Warhammer Fantasy, Khorne's influence was felt during the Storm of Chaos, a cataclysmic event that saw the forces of chaos, led by Archaon, descend upon the old world. Khorne's followers played a significant role in this conflict, their bloodlust driving them to commit acts of unparalleled brutality. The Warriors of Chaos, alongside the Daemons of Khorne, spread carnage and destruction across the lands, embodying the Blood God's desire for eternal war. The Age of Sigmar. In the Age of Sigmar, Khorne's influence continues to be felt. His followers, known as the Blades of Khorne, wage war across the mortal realms, seeking to spill blood in their master's name. The Blades of Khorne are a fearsome force, composed of mortal warriors and demons alike, all driven by an unrelenting thirst for battle. Khorne's presence in the Age of Sigmar highlights the enduring nature of his creed, as his followers continue to seek out war and bloodshed in the name of the Blood Go. The Legacy of Khorne. Khorne's legacy is one of unending war and violence, his influence felt across countless worlds and eras. His philosophy of strength through combat and honor through bloodshed has shaped the course of history in the Warhammer universes, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The impact on the Warhammer universes. Khorne's impact on the Warhammer universes is profound and far-reaching. His followers, driven by a fanatical devotion to the Blood God, have committed acts of unparalleled brutality and violence. The wars waged in Khorne's name have left entire civilizations in ruins, their once great cities reduced to ashes and their people slaughtered. Khorne's creed of eternal war has brought about an era of unending conflict, with no end in sight. The Symbol of Khorne. The Symbol of Khorne, a stylized skull surrounded by 8 points, is a powerful emblem of his influence. It represents the bloodshed and violence that Khorne embodies, as well as the unyielding strength and honor of his followers. This symbol is often displayed by Khorne's worshippers, a testament to their devotion and their willingness to spill blood in their master's name. The Eternal War. Khorne's ultimate legacy is the concept of the Eternal War, a state of unending conflict where blood flows freely and the sounds of battle never cease. This vision of eternal war is the ultimate expression of Khorne's philosophy, a testament to his belief in strength through combat and honor through bloodshed. As long as there are beings willing to fight and die in Khorne's name, the eternal war will continue, and the Blood God's influence will endure. Conclusion. Khorne, the Blood God, is a complex and fearsome figure in the Warhammer universes. His power, derived from the rage and bloodlust of sentient beings, is both terrifying and awe-inspiring. Through his followers, daemons, and acts of violence, Khorne's influence is felt across countless worlds, embodying the brutal and destructive aspects of chaos. As we conclude our exploration of Khorne, we are reminded of the primal nature of his power. In the face of unending war and bloodshed, Khorne's followers find strength and honor, driven by a fanatical devotion to the Blood God. It is this unrelenting pursuit of combat and slaughter that makes Khorne one of the most enduring and iconic figures in the Warhammer lore. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the lore of Khorne. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all things Warhammer. Until next time, stay vigilant, and may the Emperor protect.